WagerTalk continues to be an innovator in this industry, and our WagerBucks program is just one example. Because it's the holidays and we're feeling festive, we're giving you $100 worth of WagerBucks for only $49 using promo code WB49 at checkout. So how do they work? It's simple. You buy credits in bulk at a discounted rate and then apply them dollar for dollar towards your purchase. Use your purchase WagerBucks on $2 Tuesday, $9 packages on Monday. Buy your favorite 5% plays with or without the guarantee. Grab a 7-day all-access pass or even a 12-month package. That's right, purchase WagerBucks can be used on everything with no restrictions at both WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. Due to the incredible savings, this special offer is limited to one per customer. From all of us here at WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and the Gold Sheet, we wish you a wonderful holiday season and a prosperous new year.
Hey guys, welcome into another edition of Guess Who's Playing Today, the college basketball version here on a Tuesday, December the 28th. Hope your holidays were a pleasant and safe one, more importantly, a profitable one. We do have a few games here in college hoops today that we're going to break down for you why they are still available, and we're going to do it with the world-famous Tuesday crew here on College Basketball Tip-Off with Ralph Michaels, Brian Leonard, and Dave Koken here with you. And Ralph, happy holidays, happy New Year, my friend. What's been going on in your neck of the woods? And more importantly, what do you got up at WagerTalk.com for us today?
Got an NBA play, got a college basketball play, got a bowl play. 22-8, 73% run the last 30 plays. And since the first month, 59-32, 65% for this entire month of December. I'll take that each and every month. Joe, I do want to remind people the Gold Sheet is free for the rest of this week. The NFL just got updated this morning. The college bowls just got updated this morning. No credit card needed, no registration, no email. Just go to goldsheet.com, username, type in free at goldsheet.com, and password free, and you can have access to the college football, college basketball, NFL, bowl games, the CKO, and the Gold Sheet Extra all through December 31st.
All great tools, guys, for you to check out right now over at thegoldsheet.com. And Brian Leonard, happy holidays, happy New Year, my friend. What has been going on with you? And I know you got some locked and loaded over at WagerTalk.com for us today.
I'm extremely frustrated. Had the Utah Jazz last night as a big play, and in the last 4 minutes, they give it all up. And then I just recently bet the Cavaliers when I found out Mobley was clearing today. He doesn't have any symptoms. And then 5 minutes later, the point guard is rolled out with COVID. So that line's been bouncing around all day, and now I'm stuck with a bad bet, 1.5 points worse of it. But it's frustrating for all of us right now. You don't know who's going to play. You get information all day long. Hockey's back, at least for now, and there's supposed to be a few games tonight, but there's talk of those being suspended. So it's tough to do your job when you don't know who's going to play, and then you put in all the work, and then all of a sudden it's gone. We've all had to deal with it for the last few weeks. We've all had to deal with it for the last year or so. But it's very frustrating to not know. And that is the worst part of handicapping. Hats off to anybody who could put out a play with not knowing exactly who's going to play. It's tough to do. And I'm not a big volume guy anyway. And so right now, I'm just going in circles. It's tough right now.
It certainly is. Darius Garland gets announced today. Draymond Green, Jason Tatum, big names in the association for sure there. One thing I know is ready to go is Dave's 5% best bet in college football. One of the bowl games on today, Dave. 5% best bet at that over at WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, it's a game that fits a bowl formula that I've used basically for 40 years, and it wins almost every year. And this game qualified, so it's out there. It's the only one that completely qualified. There's a bunch of parameters, and this one fits. So hopefully it works out. beyond that, I can echo what Brian said. I do have some NHL action tonight. Whether it takes place or not, I don't know. I've got a couple of other bowl games posted, but not for sale individually, and I don't know that I'll sell them individually. Not that I don't like them. I like them quite a bit, actually, but I don't know if they're going to get played. And I don't want to put games out there for individual sale that end up getting canceled because it's a complete pain in the ass for customer service and for the customers themselves. So they're up for all access players, and I expect them to do well. And that's it. We've got 3 remaining college basketball games on the regular board tonight. The rest have been canceled or postponed. One piece of refreshing news, however, one of the games that's postponed today is the Oregon State-Sacramento State game, and it was postponed because of bad weather rather than COVID. I somehow found that to be extremely refreshing. It's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And they'll replay that game on January 3rd.
That is boy, is the bar set low here for us. Well done really. There, Oregon State. Bad weather game. We'll take it though. But we do have a few games. I mean, we'll take it. And before they get canceled, we got a few more games here that we're going to break down for you here, guys. And we are going to start with a couple of ACC foes here with Notre Dame taking on Pittsburgh tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Notre Dame opens up as a 4-point favorite, total of 128.5. And both of these teams have generated at least a little bit of momentum heading into this game. It hasn't been a great non-conference schedule for either of these two teams here, Ralph. But what do you think we might get from Notre Dame and Pittsburgh tonight?
Well, Joe, I'm going to disagree a little bit. I mean, Notre Dame has played a very good non-conference. I mean, they played St. Mary's, A&M, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky. They actually have played the number 63 schedule. So, you know, you look at the teams comparison-wise, you have Notre Dame 6-5 against the 62 schedule, Pittsburgh 5-7 against the 160 schedule, and Pittsburgh's only quality win was St. John's with their top player and their superstar being out. So I even discount that. Matchups have me leaning absolutely one way. Notre Dame is a team that didn't bring much back. They have a 5-star recruit, a rare 5-star recruit for them, Blake Wesley, who they now moved into the starting lineup the last 5 days. They have a player of the year from Yale from 2 years ago. I think this team is really going to improve down the road. You look at shooting matchups. This Notre Dame team is a top 40 team on offense. Pittsburgh, a 200-some team. You look at Notre Dame's only weakness, 3-point defense. Well, guess what? Pittsburgh shoots as few 3 points as anyone. Number 321 in the country, and they're not good at it. Number 302 in the country. You have a free throw shooting team in Notre Dame that's number 43 against the Panthers, number 302. The only thing keeping me from this having been a top play is that Notre Dame has yet to win a true road game. They did win against Chaminade, a D2 or D3 school in the Y tournament, but they have not beaten anyone away from home. I think they do beat Pittsburgh tonight. I think they handle them easily. And my power ratings have Notre Dame a 7 to 8 point favorite.
All right, there you go, Bri. What do you think here? Are you, is it fade Pittsburgh time? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking at this a lot like Rolf is. It's a situation for me. He talked about not looking well on the road. If you take a look at the shot quality numbers, which Dave and I both are real fans of, they lost that game to Boston College 73-57. But when you take a look at the shot quality numbers on the road, they had a 65% chance of winning that game. So they've had a lot of bad luck. They're 1-3 on coin flip games, basically. Games they should have won and didn't. They get that win against Kentucky. They didn't deserve the win against Kentucky. They only had a 17% chance of winning that game based on the stats, and they win that game by 4. But they haven't been as bad on the road, is what you would think. But it is a team, as Ralph pointed out, this is a team, my power ratings have this is the biggest differential in the 3 games we're going to talk about today. You've got a team at Pitt that's just terrible in transition, 345th, the 343rd in the shot quality points per possession is 0.87, and they're going against a team in Notre Dame that's pretty good It's 0.97 ranking, but we're just outside the top 100. And when you take a look at the Pitt defense in transition, they're like 353rd also. And this Notre Dame team isn't bad. They're 112th at 1.04 shot quality points per possession. The only thing that concerns me here is the rebounding. Pitt is a very good rebounding team, and really the Irish haven't done quite so well. They don't attack the rim very well. 316th low frequency attacking the rim for the Irish. Both teams play very slow. Don't know what kind of transition we get out of them, but yeah, this Pittsburgh team just isn't very good. And in a line, it's somewhat close to pick 'em at 4. I definitely think the Irish are the way to go here.
Oh, Notre Dame is coming out of that game. They hit 16 threes, Dave, in their last game against Corpus Christi. They seem to have put it together offensively a little bit here. Is it a runaway for Notre Dame here tonight to you?
I made the number 5, and here's why I don't like the game. Brian already mentioned some of the shot quality numbers, and what I like when I'm looking at shot quality site is teams that are playing, the results are the way they're supposed to be on a regular basis. And Notre Dame has had a bunch of flip games, which makes them very difficult to handicap for me. They lost to St. Mary's, but should have won the game. They lost to Texas A&M, but should have won the game. They lost to Boston College, but should have won the game. The flip side is they beat Kentucky, but should have lost the game. So it seems as though luck is involved in a lot of their games. And I don't like getting involved with teams like that. From a fundamental standpoint, there is one glaring edge for Notre Dame here, which is that they love to shoot the 3 ball. They shoot it at a very high percentage in terms of what the 3-point attempt percentage is 46%. That's among the highest in the country. And Pittsburgh gives up uncontested threes on a regular basis. So based on that, I will lean to Notre Dame, but there's no real edge in the power ratings for me. And again, I have a little problem getting a feel for teams that have these inconsistent results like Notre Dame has. So I'm going to pass the game.
Yep, inconsistent is right there for Notre Dame thus far. 8 o'clock tonight in that game, guys. We'll head out west for a little conference battle between Fresno State and Boise State here, with Boise State opening up as a 4-point favorite. Total 117.5, 9 o'clock Eastern time tip here. And Brian, that seems like a low total, but I guess maybe not for two teams that pride themselves on defense now.
It is a low total, and there's a reason for it. Yeah, you mentioned it. When you take a look at the shot quality defense from Fresno State here, they're 36th defensively in half court, 14th defensively in transition. Boise's 10th in half court, 68th in transition. So points will be hard to come by here. Two teams play very good defense. I prefer the favorite side, but because the game will be lower scoring, those points make a little bit more of a difference when you take a look at your betting situation here. You're looking at Boise. They've lost to Irvine, Bonaventure, Bakersfield, and St. Louis. But in all those games, they had a 50% or better chance of winning the contest. So, in fact, on the season, Boise is worst win game percentage after the game has been played should have been 50%. And that's the worst they've done. They've done that against Washington State, and they've done it against St. Bonaventure, and ended up splitting those games. Fresno's a team, very good team also. They've gone on the road, lost to California, San Francisco, and Utah. Those final win percentage numbers were 50%, 23%, and 42%. So even in the games they've lost, they've been very close, losing by 8 to Cal, losing by 8 to San Francisco, and Utah by 5. So it's tough to lay points here with with the Boise State in what looks to be a low-scoring game. My numbers point to Boise, but because of the situation with Fresno sticking in, even in losses, in Boise, a situation with a low-scoring game, kind of lean with the under, kind of like Boise, but not getting to the table with either one of them.
Okay. Dave, what do you think? Fresno's 9-3 against the number. They've been pretty profitable so far this year. What do you think of this matchup against Boise?
And I just talked in the last game about how Notre Dame has had these erratic swings, winning games they should have lost, losing games they should have won. Fresno, they've played 13 games. Their record's 10-3, and in every single game on the shot quality numbers has gone the way it's supposed to go. So they are that consistent type of team that I like. To me, these teams are easier to cap. Now, this is what's really interesting to me. I made the number, my power ratings make this game 7, but I think my power ratings are wrong on Fresno State. I do watch the Mountain West on a regular basis, probably watch more Mountain West basketball than any other conference. It's our home league here in Las Vegas. UNLV's a Mountain West team, and I've always liked to watch this league. I think Fresno State is actually playing the best basketball in the Mountain West. They might not be the most talented team, but I really like what Hudson's done in terms of this team being fundamentally sound. They're really good at rebounding. You can't get to the rim on them. They're very tough inside. They force a lot of turnovers. They make their free throws. They might not have a real talented roster, but they play as a unit. Boise has been a little inconsistent in that department, and there's one glaring stat on the Boise side that, to me, makes them a big risk as a favorite. They suck at the free throw line. They're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the country. And in a game that figures to be close, that could be a real problem for them. I think Fresno is going to pull the upset here. I didn't put it on my card, but it's the closest I can come to a play among the games we're talking about today. I'll take Fresno plus the points.
Fresno plus the points. Ralph, both of these teams have certainly had success for bettors backing the under when they play here. How are you going to approach this matchup?
Dave is such an exaggerator. He said Boise State was one of the worst free throw shooting teams. They're only 351. There are freaking 7 teams worse than them in college basketball. So, what the hell, Dave? Come on. My esteemed colleagues have really said it both. Fresno's number 350 in tempo. Boise State's number 254. Boise's Leon Rice said this before the season. When they were practicing to prep for the season, he said, this is the best defensive team I have ever been around coaching at any level. Ken Palm has them numbered 19 defensively, and they are allowing only 43% shooting 2 points. That's number 17 in the country. You look at the Fresno State side, you do have the best player on the field with Orlando Robinson, the big 7-foot center. He can dominate in the middle. He's a great shot blocker. His entire goal, and he has one goal, is to win Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. Dave brought up the great point about free throw shooting. You can't back a favorite that's shooting that bad. If they have a lead, you're going to see it evaporate. I'm going to go under first half, Joe. It's 55.5. Fresno State has held 4 teams in the last 6 games to 20 points or less in the first half. This is a Mountain West game. Both teams are going to be conservative. Both teams are going to let it play out early. Under 55 first half in this matchup for me.
All right, good stuff there, guys. 9 o'clock Eastern time tip between Boise and Fresno State. We got one other game on the board we're going to break down for you here tonight. 10 o'clock Eastern time as Yale wrapping up its non-conference schedule, taking on St. Mary's here tonight. 13.5 as an opening number, 132 as a total. And Dave, what do you do with a team like Yale hasn't played in 2 weeks here? How do you approach handicapping this game?
I don't think the 2 weeks off is a problem for Yale because they were playing like crap before the break. They got wiped out by Auburn, got beat handily by Iona, lost to Monmouth. So they come in a 3-game losing streak. They're a disappointment this year. Yale has not played well. And this is not the team to get healthy against. I mean, they're all the way out the other side of the country. Quite honestly, it's a meaningless game for Yale. They need to focus on getting ready for the Ivy League, which is scheduled to start on January 2nd when they play Columbia. I think they just get this one done, and I don't know if they're going to expect to win it. St. Mary's usually handles teams like this at home. the number's too big for me to get involved because I don't think it's going to be a real fast-paced game, to put it mildly. So I don't want to lay that much, but I don't see much chance of an upset here. So it'd be St. Mary's a pass for me, and I will go with the pass option.
He brings up an interesting point, Ralph. I know the Yale Bulldogs on Twitter posted a graphic saying that they have played the toughest Ivy League schedule non-conference so far this year. How much does this game really mean to them at this point, knowing conference just around the corner?
Well, they've played the number 148 schedule going 6-7. St. Mary's has played the number 52 schedule going 11-3. Interesting story if people don't follow the Ivy League. The Ivy League took off last year for COVID, and the Ivy has a rule. If you are an athlete, your ability to play sports only lasts for 8 semesters. So almost everyone on the Ivy Basketball League had to drop out of school, take a year hiatus, go work a full-time job, and then come back to basketball this year. I mean, how disjointing of that is a program? They have 3 key parts that did come back. So I'm surprised they even beat UMass early in the year. This is a team that didn't play or practice or have anyone together. They're now back. I mean, you talk about the Ivy being unreasonable on those expectations. That's silly to think these kids would come back. I agree with Dave. St. Mary's is the only way to go. You know, this St. Mary's team returned all 5 starters. And one of their top players, Dan Fotu, hasn't even started a game. They're bringing him off the bench as the 6th player, and he may be their best offensive player. They are deep. They are number 11 in KenPom efficiency. Yale is 1-5 ATS against teams with a winning record. And Yale's front line, 6'5", 6'5", 6'7". St. Mary's goes 6'7", 6'8", 6'10". Only way to go to St. Mary's. Didn't make my card because you're laying 12.5 with a team that's probably only going to get to 70. But again, if I had to choose a side, it would be the Gales.
All right, leaning towards the Gales. How about it, Brian Leonard? How do you approach this? Total, maybe? Side? What are you looking at?
Yeah, from a power rating standpoint, I think there's value on Yale, but as the other 2 gentlemen talked about, the situation's not the greatest. Great point by Rolf regarding the Ivy League not playing last year. And if you take a look at the away games for Yale this year, they're 1-4 on the season. The only win on the road was against Siena. And when they lost by 36 to Seton Hall, lost by 8 to Vermont, lost by 22 to Auburn, lost by 14 to Iona. So this is a team who's been uncompetitive on the road for the most part, other than that win at Siena. They blew Siena out. And yeah, going on the West Coast and then having to come back home to play Columbia on the 2nd, right after New Year's. So you would figure that would be what they're going for here. I'm just not a big believer in St. Mary's. I don't think this is the same team, especially offensively, as they were last year and in the past. You know, you take a look at the adjusted shot quality offensively, they're 238th. Yes, granted, Rolf pointed out that they played a tough schedule, but they're not good at shooting the 3. Catch and shoot 3-pointers are 309th in the country, and that's what Yale does. They're very good at stopping that. They're 49th in the country, only allowing 1 point per catch and shoot 3-pointers. So you've got a St. Mary's team that likes to put up, in the past, has been a really good offensive team, but they're 309th in catch and shoot 3s, and off the dribble 3s are 326th. So they're not a very good shooting team. They are pretty good in transition. My number says to play Yale. The situation says to avoid it. So I'll be sitting this one out.
All right, sitting that one out there. 10 o'clock, guys, the late game tonight in college hoops. Now we put it together. Not a lot to choose from, but what is available, Ralph? Is there one maybe on this card that you're leaning towards a little more than the others?
How low can we go, Joe?
Oh, no. What's playing?
How about 3-2-7?
Oh, it's got.
There's a writing game. There's actually two writing games. Before I get to my free play, I do want to mention this. Since Dave hires me on the side to do his promos for him, Dave's 5%, which you need to go get right now, is only $9. So it's not even the regular $35 price. It's $9. Grab his bowl play. I'm going to go with Lehigh. Lehigh's ugly. number 327. They're number 320 on offense. They're number 315 on defense. But they went to Rutgers as a 21-point favorite. They covered by 18. They went to Virginia, a 20-point dog at Rutgers. 20-point dog in Virginia, they covered. They went to Yale, 12.5-point dog. They covered. This Maryland team's struggling. Yes, they're off a win against Florida, but that was 16 days ago. You have a team that is 1-6 at home against the spread, hasn't played, plays again in 2 days. No fans there. I don't think they have any interest in blowing Lehigh out. I'm going to grab Lehigh plus the points. We are going Mountain Hawk tonight.
Wow, you are scraping the bottom of the barrel, Wild Michaels. Very nice. Impressed. All right there, Brian Leonard. Talk to us. Where are you going here on the card? What are you leaning towards?
It was awful nice of Ralph to promote Dave on his $9 play. I trade plays with both these gentlemen. I highly respect both of them. I know what Dave's play is, and I'll sell it to you for $8. I'm passing today for my clients, but I'm wishing the best to both of these gentlemen. The best of the bunch that we spoke of today, the Irish. The Irish are a team that, from my power rating standpoint, they should be, Ralph talked in the 7-8 range. I think I might even have a 9. So it's a situation for me that the Irish are the better team. I am concerned about the rebounding in that game, but the Irish are a better team. I understand Dave's thoughts on it because they've been very inconsistent, and teams that they should be beating, they're not. But they have the ability to win this game by margin, and I'm going to take the Irish.
All right, leaning towards the Irish. Dave, there's a nasty rumor for $8. Somebody's got a play of yours right now, 5% of it. Actually, $9 at your page there. And the game goes today. It's a 5% best bowl bet right now over at WagerTalk.com. And tell us tonight, are you leaning towards any of this?
Just a lean. I'm not playing any college basketball. But I should point out that I believe it was last Thursday, which was the last time I did one of these college basketball shows. The 3 panelists, myself, and I don't remember who the other 2 guys were. I think Steve Merrill was one, and might have been Ralph. We all liked Fresno State against Weber State, and they won by 26. Mm-hmm. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I made the case earlier that even though, and I'm not playing it because Boise does come up as the side on my numbers, but on the eye test, I really like what I'm seeing out of Fresno State. They've got, I believe, the best player on the court and the big guy inside, and I just like the fundamentally solid basketball that they've been playing under Hudson. I think he's done an excellent job there. I think Fresno State's got a decent chance to pull a mild upset at Boise tonight. So if you're looking for a lean, take the points with Fresno State. Or actually, if you're going to just take a shot, go ahead and take them on the money line.
There you go. All right, good stuff. They've been profitable all year long, and Ralph is waving at us. Yes, Ralph, you agree?
I do. We talked about it was Dave, Steve, and I last Thursday, and I'm the stupid one that said don't triple up on Fresno because we all gave it out. It's just still like one play. I'm just kidding. You should have tripled it. But I do want to mention this for Fresno. Jamal Baker is a 4.5-star recruit that played at Kentucky and at, I forget where else he played, but he is a transfer for Fresno that's only started 2 games. He started games 3 and 4. He got hurt. He came back a couple games ago, scored 28. He's missed the last 2. When he is playing and healthy, it's going to add a whole nother level to the Fresno Bulldogs.
All right, good stuff there. Let's check out. And again, just a reminder, guys, our friends at the Gold Sheet right now, it is free for the rest of the week. All the tools, all the write-ups, all the great information and data there to help you become a little more profitable is available for free over at goldsheet.com right now. And their Gold Sheet play of the day, they too, looking at Fresno State, Boise State, however, they are looking at the under in that matchup here tonight. Low total there, right around 118.5. They like the under, and this full write-up, guys, can be read, of course, on Wager Talk's Twitter page. We post them after the show, so you guys can check it out. But, again, thegoldsheet.com, free this week for you guys. Jump in there, check it out, guys. It's absolutely worth the time and the effort. And as far as tonight go, I'm going to go on an under myself, only I'm going to look at Notre Dame and Pittsburgh here. I do like Notre Dame to win, but I like it to go under even more. 127, 127 and a half, somewhere in that ballpark. Two very slow pace teams, and one team, yeah, they're not very good. So I'll take the under in that one. Let's take a look at the recap here, guys, one more time. Ralph Michaels scraping the barrel. That's what we love about Ralph, going the number 6,332. Lehigh plus 21 and a half. Brian Leonard going, he leading Notre Dame, laying 4. Dave Kogan leading Fresno State plus 5. And I'm leading the under with the Notre Dame Pitt game. And, of course, our friends at Gold Sheet, Fresno State, Boise State, under 119 in that game here tonight. And if you hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner, guys, you will get notified when these shows go live. And, of course, we'll be back again tomorrow right around this time. Hopefully a full card will be on tap. If not, we'll make the most of it. But in the meantime, Dave's $9 best bet bowl game coming up later today. Go get it right now at his page. Brian Leonard, Ralph Michaels, they are locked and loaded with bowl games as well. Head over to WagerTalk.com. Make it a profitable Tuesday, guys, to round out the end of the year. In the meantime, best of luck with your plays, guys. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for hanging with us.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.